We're going to go to the other kind of gilding now at this point. So the other kind of gilding, which I mentioned, was called oil gilding. And that is a much simpler process. You can use real gold or you can use metal leaf. And it is absolutely magical how this thing works. I brought you a frame here that's just recently gilded with oil gild. And there's metal leaf on here, and it's very fresh. And the process is very easy. You simply put a sticky material on there, and then you lay the gold leaf on it, and that's all there is to it. Really, anybody can do this. It's really a very simple process. You need metal leaf, which I have in these books. It's much easier to handle. You can hold it with your hands. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this book of leaf over this frame, and then when I get it held here, I'm just going to pull the book away, and it will drop on there. And I can just keep doing this. And I'll have this gilded, this whole thing gilded in a few minutes. You can do this at home. This is really...
What's the cost of a book of that?
It's free compared to buying real gold, I'll tell you that. A box of this, which is a lot, is about $100. It's kind of a combination of copper and tin and other stuff that I don't know what it is. But it's mostly copper and tin, and they develop it into different colors. There's a silver version, which is just aluminum. And you can see I'm just laying these in a grid-like pattern. And when I get to the point where I'm actually doing the gilding part, it's really magical how this turns into something in no time.
Is that just on the raw wood, or do you prepare it?
There's a sticky material that I placed on it. It's a sizing material. You have to put this on about an hour prior to your gilding because it has to set itself up. It's got a sort of a gluey feel to it when you get it on there. I do, yes. I was just talking to my colleagues this morning. There are some gilders. I always gild standing up. But there are some gilders who gild all day. That's their job. I would find that maddening. But they have found a way to do it sitting down. And the way they do it, the water gilding that is that they, instead of using their arm for static, they use their cheek. So they will sit at a chair with their gilder's tip, and they'll rub rub that on their cheek, which is quite funny to watch. You can look all this stuff up on YouTube. It's amazing. Everything's on YouTube. So now I've got my leaf all laying down on this piece of wood, and then I tamp it down. You can see that this is just as simple as pie. And I tamp it down. I make sure that I get over the whole thing, And then once I see that everything is down, then I start brushing at it side to side. And it mends completely. And that is all there is to it. Nope. It's just a brush. It's a pretty stiff brush. And so it's important that you be able to tamp it down so that you get it all evenly applied. And then you brush it away. It totally mends itself. It only sticks to the places that have the sticky sizing. And everything else breaks away. And there you have it. The next part of this process is the part where I think the real artistry comes in, which is when I'm attempting to, I've got gold all over the floor, isn't that cool? When I'm attempting to match a frame, when I'm attempting to restore a surface so that the newly gilded part is exactly the same as the part that's already there. And so that's where the toning part comes in. So what comes after this is that it gets scratched so that I see a little red through there. And then I apply some tone. So if I don't want it to look this color, and normally I don't. Normally I want it to be a lot less bright than it is right now. If I put this on a picture, it would look like I was putting the sun around it. And you don't normally want that. So you need to tone it down. And so what I do then is I get a piece of gold and I take colored shellacs. So I get real just like powder pigments. Usually it's either black or it's a tone of red or green, because that's the way gold goes. It's either red or it's green or it's dark. And so I mix that up and then I apply that to see, can you see that? You can kind of see the colors on my test strip. So if I'm trying to match a tone that's on a frame that I'm gilding, that I'm restoring, then I have to test that first so that when I swipe it onto the real thing, it integrates completely. And I have a couple of slides that will show that.